What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. It's your girl T. Today's video is going to be making a little board for my craft room because it has very few decorations. The paint is kind of dark, so doesn't really help the mood while I'm in here working. But if you're interested in learning how I made this board here, then stick around. Some materials that you will need a brayer, you will need a weeding tool. Doesn't have to be Cricut brand, but you'll need a pair of scissors, a tape measure, and a design. And of course you will need HTV, and these are the colors that I will be using today. This is a holographic one, so it does change, and with the heat it also changes colors depending on, and then this is just a plain black HTV. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright guys, so here we are in Cricut design space. I have my designs already uploaded. This design right here came from Fabrica, excuse me. Creative Fabrica. You can get a subscription with them. I will leave my link below. And then this is a free image from Cricut design space, but you must be a Cricut Access member to be able to get this design for free. Otherwise, I think it's like 99 cents. So with that being said, my design is already sized to, actually we're going to resize this. We're going to make this 12 inches wide by 13.592. This right here is layered, and if you see, I have a error message right here telling me that this is too big for Cricut design space. So what we're going to do is we're going to shorten that a little bit. I am in the beta version, which we are able to print bigger, or cut bigger, should I say. So anyway, back over to today's Cricut DIY. We are going to print this, and we know that this is layered because if we look over here at our layers panel, it shows that it is grouped. So to ungroup that, you can hit the ungroup button here, or you can hit the Control plus G. I'm just going to hit the layers button to ungroup it. And once you ungroup it, let's see here. You have this as one layer, and then this as another layer. Again, with me using HTV today, we will need to mirror this. I'm going to make my screen just a little bit bigger so you guys can kind of see what the design looks like. And then I'm going to minimize it back so that we can get ready to cut this. So this will cut as one, this will cut as another one, and this will cut on another mat. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Make It. And I'm going to use a mat today, even though I have the Cricut Maker 3. You want to be sure that you mirror each one of these mats so that your design will come out correct. So the first piece that I'm going to cut is going to be this outline of the Cricut machine. And again, I do have it mirrored. That is going to be very important. It is currently connecting to my Cricut Maker. You're going to select your material. I happen to be using the Smart Iron vinyl. And then I'm going to prepare the mat and get you guys turned around to the Cricut Maker so that you can watch it cut. And hopefully that should be a good angle for you there. And I'm going to use a purple strong grip mat today. And all I'm doing is just opening up my HTV Smart Iron-On because I actually ran out from doing the first mat that I did. Or the first design that I did, should I say. Alright, so we have this. And what I usually do with the Smart Iron-On, I don't cut it or any of that because it does come, I guess I can show you guys, because it does come in this big old thing that's on a, it's already rolled up. And generally, I don't take it off of that. And actually, I do have a piece that I'm going to try and salvage. This first little piece right here. And remember, when doing your, when you're cutting your design, the Smart Iron-On vinyl, you want to make sure that you have the matte side facing you. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. And then we'll get it all weeded out. I'm just going to hit that play button. And you want to always remember to do test cuts for your device, because what cuts well for you may not cut well for me or anyone else. Your settings basically depends on the sharpness of your blade that is in your Cricut device or whatever cutter that you are using. A lot of us do use several cutters, and as you can tell, this is already cut, but I didn't move it down far enough. So guess what? We get to recut this because that ain't what we need right there. But it did cut pretty well, as you can see. And look how easy it's coming up. But I don't want to use that because it's not going to line up for what we need. So I'm just going to flip. Actually, we're going to cut this half off. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off so we can make sure we get a nice and even cut. Alright, that part in the trash can. Then I'm going to cut this other little side off. And then I'm going to adjust where the cut comes out on the Cricut mat, because we're going to recut that. So, cancel, yes. We're going to move this down just a little bit. It is still mirrored. Continue. And you just want to recheck all your settings and make sure they are correct before reloading your mat. And I'm going to cut all of this little piece off because you want to make sure that you have enough space. So all I did was shorten that up so that we can make sure we have enough space to cut our, oops, hold on. And y'all, this video will not be edited because I want you guys to see any mistakes that I make so that you don't have to waste your material, because materials are expensive. You also want to make sure that you do test cuts for your material so that you're not wasting material as well, because baby, this stuff is expensive. And the Cricut Maker 3 cuts very, very fast. And as you can see, we have our cut and it is cut correctly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead. I'm going to click on mat number 2. Now for this particular piece right here is where I will use the new roll of film, or new roll of HTV, should I say. I really don't want this on the mat, but I'm gonna have to put it on the mat. Alright, actually, I'm not gonna cut the second one on a mat, simply because I want to make sure this mat, this one is going to be without the mat. We're going to mirror it. And there we go. Alright, so this one is without the mat. And this is how you actually, let's put the tray on it. So we can, and this is the Cricut tray holder for your material. And I'm just go ahead and set this down in here. And we are going to line it up. Slide this through the slats that are on the top. And then slide it through. And then in a minute it should ask us to hit. And what it does is it measures the material for you so that you're not wasting material. So that's what it's doing right now, measuring the material. And now it's ready to cut. So we're just going to hit that button. And while that is doing that, I will be working on preparing our mat for our final cut. And it might help if I put it on straight. And then with the smart iron, because Cricut just came out with those materials for the Cricut Maker 3, I love that material, but however, they don't have enough colors out in it yet. But as soon as I get rid of all of my other vinyl, I will only be using the Caesar brand and the Cricut Smart Iron vinyl. Those are my two favorite vinyls. That's already at 100%. It's finishing up the cut. All right, so we're going to unload this. I'm going to slide this tray off, and then I'm going to go ahead and put our third mat in. And then this one is going to be Smart Iron. Holographic, excuse me. It's going to be holographic. And then this one, we're going to put it like right here on the mat. And you want to make sure that when you are putting, getting ready for your cut, that you are lining, you're putting the HTV or whatever you vinyl, regular vinyl, whatever you may be using, you want to make sure that you are putting it right on the mat where you have as it appears on the screen. All right, so it is thinking over here. So while it's thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and load it. All right. And then this one, you would choose holographic iron. Well, how about that? So this one, you're going to choose holographic iron because that is what we're using. This is a holographic HTV. In my opinion, I love HTV. I don't particularly care to use vinyl, regular vinyl, all that much anymore, because it takes entirely too long. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the play button. Oh, jeez. This. All right, and that is ready. So we're gonna go ahead and unload this mat. All right, I'm gonna turn the view back around for you guys so you will be able to see what I'm doing right here. So we're just going to move everything that we have cut. And then I'm going to go ahead and change the angle. All right, so that should be fairly good angle for you guys to see. Hopefully. All right. So what I'm going to do is weed this And you want to be careful when weeding your material out. What I do is I cut it out in sections. So that way that I ensure that whatever I need to keep, I'm keeping what I need to keep and getting rid of what I do not need. And I'm just going to put this in my trash can under my table so that you guys don't have to look at all of that trash. And for the most part, this does eat very, very well. But again, I cut mine this way for my sanity so that I am not cutting away pieces that I don't need and leaving behind. I mean, cutting the pieces that I need and leaving the pieces that I don't need. So like I said, this does eat weed well for the most part. If you found this video or this type of content helpful to you, please go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, comment, share the video, and send your friends and family over to the channel as well. I will be making quite a few videos today. So if you see me in the same thing, they'll be like, oh, she don't change her clothes. Because yes, we wash and change clothes over here. I will just be pumping out videos today. However, you don't want to forget your inside pieces, because those are what you want to show up. So like these pieces right here in the A, the piece that was in the C, don't forget to take out any of those pieces because you don't need those. And a lot of videos that I'm doing, like I've had majority of the stuff forever and a day. It's just finding the time to pump out the videos and get them edited. And then my last video, it took me, y'all, literally like a week to upload it. I don't know what was going on with the internet. I don't know what was going on with YouTube. But I'm like, 4 hours? What in the world? For a 38-minute video? Then I got a question about the video that I did on DTF transfer. So I will answer that question in the next DTF video that I'm going to do, and that's just in case that particular subscriber happens to run across this video. I don't want them to think that I have forgotten about them. So I will do a updated video for you and let you know, whether I think DTF is worth the time and the money that you put into it. I will say anything that worth having as far as business wise, if you want to have it, if it's something that you really want to do and add to your business, you gotta put the work in, because nothing comes easy. So you may have the tired and sleepless nights. You may feel like giving up but keep going. Keep going. So we are almost done. Oh, the black one is going over here on our holographic. We're almost done weeding this one out. And then we're going to move on to our next two, which definitely should not take as long. And sometimes these little pieces, they are hard to get out. But you definitely want to make sure that you get those little pieces out, because you will be able to see it in your design. It's definitely going to show. And we have one more little piece right here that needs to come out. So this is how our design is looking. This is how our design is looking all weeded out. Okay. So we are on to the next piece of our design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and I'm going to cut around this design, simply because I can use this piece for a test cut. Y'all, I'm not joking when I say make sure you save all of your scraps, because you never know when you have to cut just a single piece of something out for a design that may have not cut right, or you know, ultimately just use it for a test design. So this is the bottom half of our design of the and I'm just going to grab this and put it in our trash can under my desk. All right. And as you can see right here is where our other part of our design is. And what I'm going to do is simply cut around it. You cut that little piece out, and then the rest of this, all we're going to do is roll it back up and save it for our next project and put it back around like that and tape it back up. So that's that. Let's go ahead and weed this little piece. Sometimes if you bend this, you can get a corner started for you. That's the only thing about this holographic though, is this one tends, there it goes. It tends to be just a little bit tedious sometimes. All right, and then we're gonna pull this one. And as you can see, it does, again, for the most part, weed fairly easy. Do not forget to take out your inside pieces. And the difference in how you would know if you really weeded this properly. Get out of there. If you weeded this properly, when you look at it, it should be face up for you to see. Can y'all see how that color shift? It looks kind of green right there. Hopefully y'all can see that on camera. Like that, it looks kind of purplish blue. So it's got different colors and color changes different colors depending on how the light hits it. And remember, we are weeding all of our inside pieces. All you have to do is find you a cut line and pull up. Same thing here, find your cut line and you pull up. All right. And then what you're gonna do, I generally just take my nail and kind of hold around in that department. Whoops. There we go. Hold on. And there we go. And we have this piece and one more to weed out, and then we are done with our weeding process. I'm gonna go ahead while I'm preparing the board. All right, so that's how this piece looks all weeded out. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the trash. So the regular HTV, the black pieces, we're going to press that at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. Cricut does call for this holographic HTV to be pressed at 285 for 15 seconds. But in my design or working this design earlier, it worked better at pressing it for the 325 for 15 seconds. Also, these are the canvas boards that I use. You can get these from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, anywhere that is near you. Do not forget to take off the plastic that comes on the canvas board. You want to be careful not to poke any holes in your canvas board as well. Now, some people will put like a clear HTV over the entire canvas board. I may do that at a later date to these, but for the purposes of this video, we will not be doing that. I will not be framing it. I will not be doing any of that. It will just be going on the wall as it is. Oh, these little boards are kind of dirty, and I just open them up out the pack. So what you want to do is you do want to heat up your canvas board. Let me go ahead and change the angle for you guys. All right, as you can see, we are heating up our canvas, our HTV runt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press this for the 20 seconds and take the moisture out. So all that does is just takes your moisture out. So what I'm going to do while that is finishing heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start lining up where I want this to go at on this canvas. So I want to make sure that we are lining it up perfectly where we want it at. And even though I already have Teflon sheets top and bottom on my heat press, I am going to go ahead and put an additional Teflon sheet on the top of my heat press, just because I want to protect the heat press that I have up there. I also have an app on iOS and Android. It is called Tees Boutique. It has a opaque like color with a hanger going through it that says Tees Boutique. Please download that app. Anything that I have for sale will be listed there. I do have a website as well where you can purchase things from me. It's teesboutique615.online. These transfers will be going up as well. These are DTF transfers. You can press them on any substrate. As far as cotton, when I say any substrate, I do mean like cotton and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure you could press them on a canvas board. You know what? That might be something that I test out. But you can press them on any color, shirt, pants, anything of that nature, because it is a DTF transfer. In fact, this is a shirt that is a DTF transfer as well. Look, those colors are vibrant. And this is the Cricut heat press that they came out with as well. I use that Cricut heat press. I don't use it very often. I really stick to using my my HTV runt depending on what I'm doing. A lot of people say they can't get a lot of pressure for the HTV runt. I have experienced just a little bit of can't get enough pressure, but not to the point where I'm not going to use it at all, because at the end of the day, all of this equipment is money. So we're going to use it all. If you're interested in purchasing your own DTF machine, I will put my affiliate link below. It won't cost you any extra to use my link. Instead, it will do vice versa. It will save you $80 and I will make a small commission off of that. Alright, so we are almost ready to go. We are at 316 degrees. So we have about 4 more degrees to go. Then we'll go ahead and press this and reveal what our project looks like and talk about what I would consider doing differently. The only thing I will say about the HTV runt, depending on what temperature you're going to me, it sometimes take forever. And you want to just make sure you have this handle pushed all the way back. Alright, so this is our first layer, and this is what it's looking like. And what you want to do is, I just take another shirt that I'm not using, or some type of cloth, because this is a cool peel. So you want to make sure that you are cooling it down before pulling it up. You want to make sure that it's cool. And just like butter, nothing's left behind. It all came off. Okay. So that's our first layer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our second layer, which is the outline of our Cricut machine. And trying to see. I don't really want to layer it there. Whoops. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ruler. And I do have a Cricut ruler. And I just want to kind of make sure that I'm kind of in the center. Alright, for the most part, that is centered, but you also want to make sure that you have enough clearance to get your letters on there. So you want to make sure you can line it up and you have enough clearance to get your letters on there. Alright, so with that being said, I think we'll have enough clearance to get our letters on there. We're gonna go ahead and put our Teflon sheet and I'm definitely gonna have to repress that again because I can see right here that the board is not up further enough. So yes, the board is not up further enough. So we're just gonna go ahead and slide that up a little bit more. And I'm gonna go ahead and press that again so that we can make sure we have even pressure before we even attempt to try and take that off. All right. So we are going to repeat the step of cooling this down. And then another reason you want to also make sure that you have an extra Teflon sheet up here is because you want to protect this image as well. And you can also, I do have a like a ceramic heat block, a ceramic towel, excuse me, that I sometimes use, and it does amazing for taking out heat faster. All right, so here with this part, all I'm doing now is just lining this outline up on top of our Cricut machine, pressing this all down and making sure that I have enough clearance. And then we are going to do our final press and reveal what our project looks like. All right. I'm gonna go ahead, well, I'm gonna turn it right back on for just a second because I'm gonna do one final press. Let's go ahead and cool this down. And see how the color looks totally different from when we first looked at it. All right. Whoops. All right. So for our, here's to our final press. This will just make sure that everything is cohesive with the board. So that when we hang it up, we don't have letters peeling up or anything of that nature. And I will not be, once again, putting any clear HTV over this. All right. Woo. So here is our final project. It is still very hot in my hand, but this is what our final project looks like. Thank you for staying tuned to the end of this video. If you made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. There will be a giveaway as soon as I hit, actually be a couple of giveaways when I hit 1,000 subscribers, when I hit 4,000 watch hours, and then a 50K giveaway. And there will be huge giveaways. So make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell so that you will be alerted when I upload new content. Until next time, peace.